Hello and welcome to another episode of Messy Magic. I'm your host Dee Guy, and straight up I need to tell you that I am in my car. So if you're hearing background noise, this is why. Because I haven't done a podcast in a few days, let's be real. It's probably been a couple of weeks. And I've been really wanting to do a podcast, but what I realised is that I've been waiting for the perfect moment. And, waiting for the house to myself, for some quiet, where I can sit down and think and record a podcast. And then what I realised is, newsflash, life is not perfect. And that's actually the entire purpose of this show, to celebrate the messiness of life and still realise that there is magic in there. And so my commitment to you in this show is to be real and to continue living my life and to sharing what I'm learning with you along the way. And part of that is revealing the messy details of my life and the vulnerability that comes along with that. So if that's your jam, then you're in the right place. And so today's going to be a pretty quick one because, as I said, I'm coming to you from my car. I'm on my way home from a run that I just did. So I'm feeling all the endorphins running through my body, which is amazing. What I wanted to do a quick podcast about today is the whole idea of the fact that our perspective and our perception rules our experience of life. If you're listening to this podcast, there's a good chance that that's not the first time that you've heard this idea, this concept, that your whole experience of life is a reflection of how you perceive reality. Because we can all see the same thing, but we might perceive it differently. And how we receive information into our bodies, how we process it through our mind, the emotions that we feel as a result, all of these things colour our experience of life. And that's what makes everybody unique. But it also means that we have the power to change our experience of life in any moment. And I was reminded of this recently, and it's a theme that seems to be coming up for me a little bit at the moment. And so I guess there's a good chance that there's other people out there who are going through the same thing and need to be reminded, just like I do, that we have the power to change our perspective. And we have the power to change our energy and our vibration, which also changes our experience of life, and it changes the experience of people around us. So I guess the next question is, well, how? How do we change our vibration? How do we change our energy? If we find ourselves in a downward spiral, or if we feel like we're in need of a pick-me-up, I think often something that helps is actually just giving yourself the power without even having to do anything or change anything other than this thought. I have the power to change my experience. I have the power to change my perception of this situation, or if it's appropriate, I have the power to stop thinking about this situation. I am not a fan of completely avoiding discomfort or sadness or pain, because I think that they are all part of the human experience and they're a really important part, and sometimes we need to experience those things as part of life. So I'm not saying stop thinking about something that makes you sad unless it's appropriate to do so. And also a big one for me that works really well is to realize that things always change. There will always be a new season. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's a good thing or a not so good thing that you're going through right now. It will change because that's the nature of life. And so if you find yourself feeling negative about something, if maybe it's pain, maybe it's grief, maybe it's sadness, then I think it's important to allow yourself to feel those things and also hold the reality and the realization that this season will change. So those are just a couple of quick ideas. Mainly the point of this episode was just to remind ourselves that we have the power to change our experience and to change our energy and our vibration. And also, the secondary point of this episode was to give you an episode from the messiness of my real life. So I hope you got something out of it. I'd love to hear from you if there's anything that you'd like to tell me, some feedback or a topic that you'd like me to talk about. You can reach me on my email address, which is just hello@messymagic.co. I'd really love to hear from you. This is a brand new podcast and all feedback is so welcome. I hope that this brought some piece of joy to your day, and I hope you have a magical day.